Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Unique Not Different with me, Shamla. Today, I have Entima Salowazi, who is here to talk about his Roots Foundation. But Entima started off with one mandate, and then it so happened that he started to make an impact within the disability community. And he's here to talk about his impact and the type of impact that he creates. So, good morning, Entima. It's a pleasure to see you, and thanks for joining.
Good morning, Shamla and your audience. And it's always good to be here in your company.
Say likewise. So, can you tell us the founding of Roots Foundation and what inspired you to launch your organization focused on oral tradition, social change, and what was your original mandate for this foundation?
Okay, so again, good morning, everyone. Well, Roots Foundation, Roots is an acronym for Reflections of Our Oral Traditions. And it started off focusing on spoken word poetry. Right, I was writing poems at an early age, um, love poems. Start off with the kind of love thing, right? And because of my background and lived experiences growing up in Belmont and then Maloney, I didn't want to be seen as a love poet. Nothing is wrong with love, right? But I didn't want to be seen as a love poet when there were so many social issues taking place. So I quickly decided to form a foundation, the Oral Tradition Roots Foundation, and began to do work focusing. I call it the unsexy work, right? Because you work with youth who persons don't really want to work with in some cases, or cannot connect with them, right? And I hope I don't get TTT any problems with this statement I'm going to make here, but we have had two SOEs like back to back, and the focus has been on gangs, and we are here trying to make a difference, right, with that particular cohort of young people. I heard an interview earlier talking about in International Youth Day that if you look at the crime, a lot of young person involved in crime, but yet still it's very difficult to get that support across the board, right,
Yeah.
doing this unsexy work. So, yeah, that's really, in a nutshell, how we started in our focus.
You deal with the dark force and I guess the underdogs in the community. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, you
so
can
over
say that.
yeah. So over time the foundation expanded into areas such as wheelchair donation. How did serving persons with disability become part of your mission?
Shamla, I don't know. I keep on saying that we don't do wheelchairs. I don't know how we end up in um, this area. I have no regrets. It has been a learning curve for me, right? Because over the years, we started this in 2019. So the U.S. Embassy Port of Spain invited me in 2019 to a wheelchair handover. And I'm saying, but we don't do wheelchairs, you know? I still attended. When I attended, at other groups that were there, and then everybody discussing, and I put up my hand. I said, listen, we don't do wheelchairs. So we're not here to take your scarce resources. I said, I don't know why the embassy invited us, but we work with gangs. And probably, not probably, most likely, a man to be shot, we are closest to the ground to interact with that person to provide a wheelchair. So that's probably why
Right.
we are here. And 2019, they gave us one wheelchair, and the joke with meeting you, I always watch Unique Not Different. You are I am one of your fans. And I came to an interview a Tuesday, and I saw you, that time you were in studio, and I saw, God,
Yes.
boy, I want this woman's phone number. I don't know how to, So as I came off, I said, hi, I am your number one fan. I would like your phone number, and you gave it to me. And the next
Yeah.
week or week after, the embassy called me, because I didn't know anybody. And I called you, I said, Shamla, I'm the guy you met in the studio. I have a wheelchair to give out, and you put me on to Leo. right? And you have been supplying us with persons to assist. And since 2019, we have done 20 wheelchairs. Of the 20 wheelchairs, 5 are motorized. And I want to take this opportunity to thank Rams Logistics, who came on board twice to assist in. And when I approached Rams Logistics, they say, "Who are you working with?" I said, "Shamla." "Okay, yes, yes, yes. That's our colleague. You know, we work at Shamla." So it has really been a joy doing this. I have learned a lot. A wheelchair is not a wheelchair, right? You have to look at the person's disability, the height, the weight, the size, the seat size. There's so many different things you have to look at before you give someone a wheelchair, right? And
Yeah.
the international organization is wheeling forward. They're out of New York. I want to thank them for Alex and Lawrence for doing such a great job in assisting us to provide that mobility for our citizens who need that service.
So during you said you donated almost 20 wheelchairs, right?
Yes, yeah.
What is the most memorable or impactful story you've witnessed through these donations?
Shamla, every wheelchair has an impactful story. I have seen persons cry, you know, and I am standing there. I remember my wife and I went to give a motorized wheelchair, and someone we knew before, and she started to cry. She cried. She said, "Oh my God, empty ma," and it's hard for me to really understand what persons with disabilities go through because I do have a disability, right? And sometimes you say, Shamla, I in your shoes, I could never be in your shoes because you have your whole life to live and to navigate this world that we create that is not friendly for you all. The pavement's not friendly. The ramps is like a bicycle ramp for stunts. You know, a lot of this stuff is not friendly. The last wheelchair we gave out, when I called the girl, the lady, young lady, and I said, "I have a motorized wheelchair for you," she started to scream on the phone, "Oh my God, oh my God." And each time I am overwhelmed, you know. I remember a gentleman from Mova, right? We became good friends, and he said, "Well, Mtima, I'm moving through the supermarket. If you see me, I'm going through the aisles." And he said, at time a woman told him, she said, "Oh God, I'm jealous here." But I understand the angle she took it from him, but he told her, he said, "Ma'am, don't jealous me. You do not want to be in this position." You know?
Sure.
So
Yeah.
it's overwhelming. It's amazing for this experience.
So what's next for Roots Foundation in terms of, in general, in terms of donating, what do you see? And also for your initial mandate, what's next? And how do persons get in contact with you to support?
Well, I saw the father gave out his number, my number out there all the time. So people could look us up on social media. They could call my number 479-4510. Right now, this week we have Cascado, our annual festival. It's on. It was launched yesterday at Nalis, National
Nice.
Library Building. But our main focus right now, moving forward, is to establish a school. We already have the building. I was right here on now speaking about that school, Roots Cafe Titi, Creative
Nice.
Academy for Edutainment. And with regards to the wheelchairs, we have been bringing in 5 by 5 by 5. We want to challenge ourselves to bring in 20, minimum, I say minimum 20, right? Because we already have a list past 20, right? And then you put me onto some persons over the weekend, and they are outside of our list, and they already have persons in need of wheelchairs. So yes, Rams Logistics is really supporting us, but we want others to come on board because we like to bring in minimum 20 wheelchairs. It's not, I'm not attacking it's not what you call hospital chairs. You would know the type of chairs we have is
Yeah, it's not
sturdy
appropriate.
chairs.
It is what it is.
Yeah, the motorized chairs are, they are custom made, right? So what
Yeah.
Wheeling Forward do, they would take these specs from us and try to ensure that the chair fits the recipient, right? And I have seen it. You know of that, right? Because I think all of the persons I have given a wheelchair to was through you. And I really want to thank you, Shamla, for being the superwoman you are, not just for the disability community, but for persons like ourselves who admire you and look up to you, as a role model.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, audience, let me just say, I didn't bring out Antima to bring me up here, but thank you so much. And I know that my personal physiotherapist is currently doing a course to support you in
Yes.
terms of wheelchair fitting because we need that in the
Yes.
country as well. Yeah,
Yes.
so I have persons definitely coming on board to support you in a bigger, a more impactful way.
Yes.
So, Antima, I want to say thank you so much for coming and sharing this. And I know personally the kind of joy this brings to you. And I know
Yeah.
it was just serendipity. It happened. But I am sure that it gives you more, I know, purpose within your
Yes.
foundation to create a
Yes.
broader impact, a broader community.
Yes.
Yeah?
So,
It's always a
thank
pleasure,
you.
Antima.
Yeah.
And thank you too. Guys, with that being said, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in to this week's segment of Unique and Different. As I always say, be good, do good, everyone.